If you're watching this video right now, it's because you have big goals and dreams and you want to make them happen. But at the same time, you can't stop putting things off and procrastinating. Now, since you and we've probably never met before, why should you even bother to listen to me? My name is Fred, and I'm an entrepreneur from a lower middle class background. I went from having only $400 in my bank account over 5 years ago to making upwards of $1,000 in a single day at 21, selling services and consulting online. And on top of that, I went from being socially anxious to the point I couldn't even go for a walk in the neighborhood to spreading my message with the world on social media and generating over 42 million views starting with no audience. The things I am going to share with you in this video are exactly what allowed me to go from not even being able to work a full 8-hour workday and sticking to good habits consistently to waking up at 5 AM every morning and working 13 hours a day every single day. Honestly, if I could do it, then you can too. Because believe me, just like everybody else, I'm lazy. Look, I'll be brutally honest with you. Whether your dream is to run a profitable online business that makes you $10,000 per month, that allows you to be financially free, to travel the world, to purchase anything you want without having to look at the price tag, or even to provide for the people that you love, you have to understand that it's never been easier to win than right now. But at the same time, it's also never been more difficult to win than right now, because we are surrounded by so many distractions. There's Netflix, mobile apps to order junk food, social media, video games, just to name a few. But something I learned is that everything that you want is on the other side of the boring work you're avoiding. Over 5 years ago, in fact, I was exactly where you are. I knew I had big dreams, and I knew that in order to get what I wanted, it would surely take a lot of hard work and of perseverance. But for some reason, even though I was ambitious, I couldn't get myself to do the boring work I needed to do to become successful. I'd promised myself that I would be productive tomorrow, only to wake up the next day, procrastinate yet again, and numb my negative emotions with cheap sources of entertainment. That went on for months, and every time, it only made me hate myself more. Let me know in the comments if you're currently experiencing something like that. Now, something I didn't realize at the time, back when I was a massive procrastinator, is that being lazy is actually normal. Just think back to the time of our hunter-gatherers ancestors. Would it make sense for them to run around constantly, wasting the precious energy that was crucial to their survival? They couldn't just go to the kitchen, open the fridge, or go on their mobile phone and order some food. They had to go out there and hunt, which required a lot of energy. However, humans also have the capacity to overcome our inherent laziness. If they didn't, then our ancestors would have let themselves starve. Now, in no way am I saying that because it's normal to be lazy, you should take that as an excuse to not do the work. Remember, everything that you want right now is on the other side of the boring work you're avoiding. The truth is, it's only possible to do something if you have a strong enough reason to do it. If your boss told you, if you work 100 hours this week, I will pay you $10, would you agree? Is the effort to reward ratio worth it? Absolutely not. You'd tell the guy to go fuck himself. But what if instead, your boss gave you a legally binding contract saying that if you worked 100 hours this week, you would receive a check for $1 million? Now, would you agree? Back when I was still a broke teen, one of the first proper businesses I started was actually to sell candies in the neighborhood as well as at school. But in the neighborhood, I managed to make $17 an hour knocking on people's doors and selling them my candies. At the time, that was more than minimum wage in France. Now, to tell you the truth, I ended up quitting on that business pretty quickly because the effort to reward ratio simply wasn't worth it. In the end, I didn't even make a profit, but I came close to breaking even and I gave away the leftover candies to friends at school. Now, if you want to discover how I went from struggling financially, only having $400 in my bank account 5 years ago, to making upwards of $1,000 in a single day at 21, selling services and consulting, I've recorded a free video in which I share with you my step-by-step process. That way, you can literally just copy me. Or, if you're ready to talk business, you can book a call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. The links will be in the description below. The thing is, so many people wonder, why can't I be productive? And they think that the reason they struggle to be productive is because something is wrong with them, or it's because they don't have enough willpower, or the work is too boring. But it's actually none of these things. Not only is it only really possible to force yourself to do boring work long term if you have a strong enough reason to do the work, but most importantly, you need to be emotionally connected with that vision. Because plenty of people say that they want to make more money, live in a better house, drive a better car, or lose some weight and get in shape, but those are wishes, not goals. A goal is sharp and precise. I want to make more money is not a goal. I want to earn $10,000 a month with my own business is. Now, I personally believe that every motivation is good to take. So what if you want to make more money because you want to spend it on nice expensive shit? It's my personal belief that the most beautiful things in this world are priceless. Those would be things like certain feelings, friendship, relationships, love, certain experiences, and then the second most beautiful things in this world are also the most expensive. But at the same time, I genuinely believe that materialistic desires alone won't be enough to motivate you to do the work past a certain point. Nowadays, the first thing I think about is not buying a sports car, even though at some point I plan on getting one myself, but rather I think about the people that are counting on me, the type of legacy I want to build, and the fact that I want to impact the lives of millions positively. Are you emotionally connected with your vision? If you want to make $10,000 per month and become financially free, purchase anything you want and take care of the people that you love, are you emotionally invested in that goal? Knowing what you want in your head is great, but feeling it with your heart is even better. A while ago, I read one of Grant Cardone's books because the title really intrigued me, Be Obsessed or Be Average. In that book, Grant basically tells his life story and what life was like for him back when he was still broke. He explained that he had many vices and addictions. His life was a complete mess. He was clearly losing in life. Then one day, he decided enough was enough. He was going to do whatever it took to become the best salesman he could ever be. Grant believed that everyone needs an obsession, and if you don't have one, you'll naturally channel your creative, obsessive energy into vices and addictions because you lack a purpose. People usually don't become addicts because they love the substance itself, but rather because they have wounds and pains they're trying to numb, because they lack a mission, because they feel lost. 5 years ago, my life was a mess. I was broke, I only had $400 to my name, I felt lonely, depressed, but what's more, I was struggling with severe social anxiety. I saw most people around me settling for mediocre lives, and I knew I didn't want to end up like them, so I had to do something different. And one day I had a crazy thought. What if I forced myself to do one thing that scares me every single day? So that's exactly what I started doing until I felt fearless. Anytime I'd feel afraid to do something, I would write it down and then I'd do it. If I was afraid to go and pick up the phone and call a stranger, that's exactly what I would force myself to do. If I was afraid to reach out to potential customers, that's what I started forcing myself to do. You see, the truth is that successful people don't have more willpower than you. I used to look up to these people I'd see on social media, getting up at 5 AM, crushing intense workout sessions, and working 10-12 hours a day. I thought I could never do that until I transformed myself into this kind of high performer as well. Nowadays, I'm up at 5 AM and I work pretty much 13 hours every single day, except the rare times I allow myself to sleep in and give myself some much needed rest. 5 years ago, that would have been impossible for me to do because I had no clue where to go. I knew I wanted to become extremely wealthy, but I didn't know what to do, and I had no one to guide me, to show me the way. A few years ago, with a friend of mine, we decided to conduct a little experiment to see who would be more productive. My friend was going to take a more relaxed approach and work only 4 to 5 hours a day, while I was going to get up at 5 AM every morning, never give myself any time off, and work 10 hours a day. Can you guess what happened? At the end of the month, the numbers didn't lie. My friend had worked significantly more than me, even though he did a lot less in a day. Now, how's that possible, you may wonder? The truth is, I could only stick to that kind of busy schedule for 2 to 3 days in a row, and then, because I was so overworked, I couldn't work for 2 full weeks. My mistake was, I was trying to follow an extreme schedule when I had never worked that much before. That is something that you need to work your way up to. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to change everything all at once in their lives, and of course 99.9% of them fail because it's so much effort for someone who's not used to that much effort. It's like walking into the gym as a beginner and you've never even touched a barbell before, but you try to bench 200 pounds. You won't even be able to lift the barbell. I know that you have big goals and you're impatient. Believe me, I am too. But you need to take things slow. Put your blinders on. Stop comparing yourself to what you see others doing on social media and focus on your own unique journey. Trust me, you'll accomplish a lot more and you'll be far happier if you do that. That being said, if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, and together, let's blow up this YouTube channel and empower ambitious individuals across the globe to become financially free.